Hey everyone, how's it going? Wanted to show you this strange little machine I got at the Retro Forest Computer Club meeting the other day. It's this. It is an AlphaSmart Pro. One of my co-club members gave this to me after I'd brought in my Tandy WP2 word processing machine. This is a neat little machine. It's got essentially a Z80 in it. It's got serial printer port. It's got a cassette port for storage. It's even got this nifty little expansion slot here. Great machine. Spell checker and all kinds of goodies in there. Well, this guy doesn't seem to have much of anything like that. It's the only port it's got is here. It has an ADB port and a PS2 port. That's it. So is this thing just a keyboard, or is there something else going on in here?
Hey kids, it's the 6502 show.
Well, the first thing to do to find out what this is, well, go to Wikipedia, right? So here we are. The AlphaSmart Company, formerly Intelligent Peripheral Devices, founded by a couple of Apple employees, engineers Joe Barris and Keaton Kothari, with Kothari's brother Manish. And it looks like they got started in '92. Company went under in 2005. And here we see a little picture of the Neo, which is pretty darn popular among writers. Still popular today, people. Go out and buy these things. I don't know why, but they do. Let's see, what do we have? There's our little machine, the Pro. Let's see what it says about it. In February of '95, they launched the Pro. Looked almost identical to the original, but it had a PS2 port as well as an ADB port. Well, we figured that out, didn't we? We're able to receive text through the Get Utility software on a Mac or PC. Like 120K of memory in various pages. Okay, so that's what it is. Let's see what it can do by taking a look at the owner's manual. All right, I got this thing downloaded. And, Table of Contents. System requirements, quick start, working with files, blah, blah, cables, sending text to PC. Let's see what else we got. Special education needs. So let's just run through this thing quickly. You need a 2GS, you need a PowerBook, a Performa Centris, a Quadra. Basically something that's got an ADB port. And if you're using a PC, you need to have something that's got a PS2 port. So really, what this thing is a keyboard. It's not a computer in and of itself. At least I don't think so.
Or is?
Let's keep taking a look here. Working with files, you enter text. Okay, so it's not much different than the WP2 in terms of entering text. And apparently there's a lot less formatting, though, going on. So you type, and then you send text to a Macintosh through the ADB port. That's it. That's what you do. There's no spell check. This is kind of interesting, though. The thing was capable of handling different keyboard layouts, say for a student that was an amputee. You could set up a right-handed keyboard, a left-handed keyboard, or the Dvorak keyboard as well. So that's really cool. That was some smart thinking. These guys knew what they were doing. International character support, so all the basic stuff for Western languages. Not Slavic, though. Well, power, that's good to know. We want 8 to 12 volts DC, positive in the pin. Yeah, this is really it's not a what it is. It's just simply a how to use it, I think. You know, this is a typewriter. You can type your stuff, and this is how you send it to the Big Mac to format and print or do whatever you need to do, spell check, etc. And here are the command lists right there. That's what it can do. You can find some text, you can recover a file, get the status, turn the sticky keys on, change the layout, delete files, and delete to end of file. That's it. That's all it does. So with that, let's get under the hood with this thing and see what it really is. I mean, it's got to be more than just some place to store keystrokes. Here we have our AlphaSmart Pro, late of West Middle School, unit number 9. Already started taking out the screws. So let's finish the job here. And then we'll see what's actually inside this thing. I looked all over the internet for a specification sheet. There's supposedly a technical manual for this thing, but, well, I couldn't find it. Alrighty. Up she comes slowly. There is a connector for the LCD that needs to come out of there. All right. So, aha. Here we go. Take a look up here. Here's the guts of the thing right here. Let me get the camera a little closer so that you can see what's going on. All right, here's a close-up of the main workhouse in this little machine. We got the HC 68 HC11, another 573. There's our RAM crystal, the ROM, which I'm looking at 28 pins, so that I've got a couple of those laying around. And these right here, this is just some very basic logic for addressing. This is that's a 74-138, and there we got an 11, a double aught, and here a 74-04. And the LCD looks like a pretty standard unit. It's a 4x40, and it looks like it was made by the Hyundai Corporation. And here's the chip lineup, a lot of Hitachi chips there. Okay. All right. On. Positive. And here, looks like ground over there. All right. Looks like we got voltage just fine and dandy. Now the other question is it leaking? Couldn't find a spudger, but I could find a guitar pick. Plenty of those laying around here. Let me pop this baby out of here. Come on, you. All right. So, once again, looks pretty good, actually. I don't see shadows and tall trees. I don't see any corrosion, so I think we're going to be okay in that department. Pop you back in. All right. We've got a real processor. We got RAM. We got ROM. We have some kind of, keyboard connection. It's not serial, but it is serial. We can make the PS2 connector do some interesting things, I think. Let's put it back together and then actually try to use this thing. All right, time to fire this thing up. We're going to need some AC power, and I just happen to have an old PowerBook adapter. Let's see there, 7.5 volts, 2 amps, positive in the tip. Just going to work fine. I think the manual said 8 to 12. 7.5 will be just fine. 7805 regulator is going to be able to do that just quite nicely. Let's get it plugged in. And, well, let's turn it on. RAM test. Initializing files. Set to file 1. All right. Now, no fair making fun of my typing. I type the way I type. I never learned to touch type, so it just is what it is. This is a test sentence on the AlphaSmart Pro. Ooh, can you see that? Pretty cool. Okay, here we're set up for a little demonstration of moving things around. Here on the left is the PowerBook 520C, the last Macintosh I own. It has an ADB bus port. So I've got that all hooked up right here, through this cable coming out of the back. And we're going to hook that up to this bad boy right here, the AlphaSmart Pro. So before we do anything, we're going to need an application so that we can send stuff to it. Apologize for the rolling on the screen. I can't really sync it with just an old iPhone 5. Let's bring up Teach Text, which is like the easiest, simplest thing in the world. And I'll zoom in a little bit here. And tip you up a little bit. Okay. Now, it says on the manual, when I plug this bad boy in, it should change the display here to say connected to Macintosh. Ah, there it is. Attached to Mac, emulating keyboard. Press send key to transfer file 1. So as far as this thing is concerned, this here is just a keyboard. That's all it is. So if I press send, the send button there, hey, there it went. This is another test sentence. And we're good to go. Everything seems functional. Well, before I hauled off and pulled the ROM and dumped it out and then just tried to bumble my way through, I thought, well, perhaps could I get lucky enough? Is there someone who's already done this? Why reinvent the wheel, eh? So I went looking, and sure enough, I discovered this. This is a ROM disassembly of the AlphaSmart Pro. There's our little machine down there. And Johnny 5 says, yes, disassemble. I like that. And Ziggurat 29 got all up in this code, and here is what he found. He found a whole pile of Motorola 6811 code. We're setting up here, getting everything ready to go, all of our pointers, and check this out. Start at E1000. So we've got an 8K ROM that we're going to deal with here. And it looks like the RAM segments are going to be 32 kilobytes each. Maybe, but we'll see. But from here, we can figure out what this thing is doing. Here's all the init stuff. Configure hardware, go down to E41B, do that. Then set up the LCD. So we're going to know, we go down to EC16, we'll be able to find out how it's addressed and everything else, and it should work just like anything else. Firmware, special keys, RAM test. Oh, execute RAM test. There we go. And show the opening file, check the batteries, all the stuff you need to do. Just for giggles, why don't we go look at that RAM test at EC19, probably somewhere around about yaw. Alrighty. EC19. Oh, EC19. Not so much a RAM test. This is the LCD in it. I mean, look what this guy did. It's just incredible. Totally reverse engineered this thing. I mean, 90% or more. So, file number is bunkers and some nifty math. I like a good sense of humor. Here's the RAM test down here. So I read it right. EC91. Dyslexia strikes again. Yeah, this is amazing. So with this, we can really understand what's going on with this machine, how it works to the letter. Well, as we saw, this thing has mostly surface mount components soldered in. The only thing that we could easily remove and mess with is the ROM. And of course, that's the critical part that you'd want to mess with. And considering that we have a near complete disassembly of that ROM, it would be not too difficult to write a monitor program that had some basic I/O, kind of a la Ben Eater. We're talking about an LCD for a display and a keyboard. Well, the keyboard is already built on, and the hardware is all there. So we just have to figure out how it is addressed and handled in the original ROM, use some of that code again, and who knows what we could do with the thing. With 8K of ROM, might be able to put a really snifty monitor in it, as well as even perhaps a high-level language. Well, that's a project for another day. Thanks for watching and helping me explore this strange little machine. If you liked the video, well, you know what to do. Hit the like, hit the subscribe. Got some more videos coming out later on in spring and early summer. But in the meantime, you take care.